Hey guys, Jay Hoyt here. Before we get into today's video, I wanted to say a quick thank you for all of you guys that have been subscribing, liking the videos, leaving comments, and interacting with me. It's meant the world. It's helping our channel grow. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button, whether you're new here or just haven't yet. Help the channel out, hit the subscribe button, and enjoy the video. What's on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you today. Welcome back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And last night I was a little bit bored playing some Call of Duty, hanging out, just kind of exploring what else is on Call of Duty, with the exception of normal multiplayer. So Ben and I touched in zombies for a little bit. I think it was like last week or so. Okay, it's not my type of, gaming experience that I really want. Warzone, something I just can't really get myself into. And then the other thing was campaign. And like, usually I always play the campaign once, maybe twice throughout the year. And then that's just kind of it. And this kind of reminded me, hey, dummy, you actually have a screenshot that you haven't made a video about yet. So hey, here we are. So on Twitter a while ago, I was over, actually watching TP, who is a member of course, where are they? OpTic, and over here now, I don't think I mentioned that, but OpTic over there too. But TP and former OpTic member and current co-owner of 100 Thieves, Courage, aka Jack Dunlop, we're going back and forth on Twitter, and I thought it was very interesting what they were talking about, because it's what we've been all saying for years on end now. TP, I don't know what this is in response to, but he said, I give the new Call of Duty campaign 3 out of 10, 1 for each hour of gameplay. Underwhelmed with the campaign, but excited for multiplayer and Warzone still. And then, I'm only a little bit way through it, so I don't know how long it was like total. But then Jack, or Courage, steps on and says, I've said it for years, Call of Duty campaigns are just a waste of developer effort, and those resources will be so much better used on polishing Warzone / multiplayer. Hell, make the resources go into actually making a cool Warzone multiplayer storyline, which TP, otherwise known as Tyler, responded with 100% agree. The campaigns are usually polished. This one this one just wasn't, and then he put sad at the very end. And these guys took a lot of the words right out of my mouth. So I mean, even if we break some of this down, you play campaign, right? So campaign's always been a pretty good sized part of releasing a Call of Duty game. And don't get me wrong, I always used to try to play the campaign first. Why? I don't know. Like now, obviously I jump into multiplayer and get right after it. But this kind of throws it back to like, okay, yeah, Call of Duty campaign is, one of the biggest things of the past, right? But now, nobody buys Call of Duty, right? The game Call of Duty for the campaign, right? Because you can only do so much with the campaign, right? You play it through once, you play it through twice, maybe 3 times, just as like a change of pace, kind of figure something out. But I could tell you right now on one hand how many times I play each Call of Duty every year, or Call of Duty campaign every year, and I wouldn't even need 3/5 of my fingers. Like I said, once I try to, right, just to experience it, know the storyline. Twice if I'm feeling bored towards like the middle 3/4 end of the game, just kind of refresh myself. Maybe there was like side missions or whatever that I missed out on. Maybe I'd go do those. But it's not really something that I go out of my way to play all the time. And I know a lot of people are like that, right? They jump on multiplayer, they jump on Warzone, they jump on zombies, they jump on these other things so much quicker, and they play till their hearts, play their hearts out with those other 3, I guess you call them game modes, right? And exactly what these guys are saying. Campaign's cool, but it's not very long, and you can't really replay it because it's just the same story over and over and over again. And then, I mean, don't even get me started. The waste of developer effort going towards a campaign is just astonishing, right? I would love to just not have a campaign in the game. Like, I probably miss it a little bit at first, but like once you kind of got used to not having one, I feel like I'd be totally fine with that. But I would just much rather have a fine-tuned, well-made, well-thought-out, have, you know, almost a third of the staff, if you will, or maybe even more than that, at least half the staff going into multiplayer, coming up with new game modes, coming up with, you know, the best maps possible, coming up with, you know, cool camos for the game, you know, not necessarily new guns, but, you know, a different way to play the game that isn't going to make everybody hate you. The gunsmith system, for a perfect example. Cool in theory, but it's totally unneeded, right? So I'd much rather have, you know, Call of Duty, and could even be a whole separate video, but I would almost love Call of Duty to go with what they kind of intended to do and become a, like, bi-yearly or, you know, like every 2 years come up with a new Call of Duty game. And then that other year that is supposed to be the second year of that game, release new maps, put new guns in the meta, change around some of the guns, and, you know, kind of make it different, right? If you look at the biggest esports in the world, you look at your League of Legends, you look at your Counter-Strikes, you look at your Valorant, you look at, I mean, what else is big right now? Like, Rocket League's always been big since it's been out. I mean, Overwatch was, but then it's, like, not anymore. But you look at those games, and they're constantly evolving. And even though some of these games are pretty much the same, is they'll change some of the guns around. So now you have to use a different gun, or, you know, if you guys ever played Counter-Strike and know about the money and the eco, I guess, is it the economy in that game? I don't really know. But how all the money works in that game. If you lose a round, if you win a round, if you get so many kills in a game or in a round, you get so much money, and then you gotta use that to buy your stuff. If you lose it, then you have to buy everything new again. And, you know, like, there's so much that goes into that game, but yet it's so simple, right? You buy a gun, that's your gun. That's what you use. Here's the maps. There's not all this extra bull crap around the map. This is the map. It could be in the middle of a jungle or in the middle of a grassy field. Nobody cares. As long as it's a good map that you can play competitively, and nobody would care, right? You create those good maps. They create good games. They create fun moments that are also fun for casuals, but you have to take it seriously of, we have this Call of Duty League that is failing miserably, in my opinion. Failing miserably. And then you go into perfecting the campaign. Not multiplayer. Doing an okay job with Warzone, some would say. I mean, from what I've seen, like I said, I don't really play it. But you focus on the campaign instead of multiplayer. Like, I think I mentioned it a while ago in a video. Maybe I didn't. I don't recall offhand. But one of the developers at, I don't remember which studio it was, but they basically said they build all of the maps in Call of Duty for Team Deathmatch. It was like Search and Destroy and Domination, I think it was. Now, if that was before the, you know, COD League was established, then, like, okay, like, whatever, like, do your thing. But now that Call of Duty is, like, there's lots of money getting pumped into this thing, and, you know, what was it, Microsoft bought Activision and Blizzard and all those things, or whatever, and it's like, now you have these guys, like, buying your stuff, and wanting to invest in this stuff. Then give us a little bit back of taking this seriously and not having these comments. Now, obviously, you're not going to make everybody happy. You're never going to make everybody happy, especially in Call of Duty. But you kind of forgo the campaign, right? If that's an afterthought, second priority, third priority, you know, behind multiplayer, behind Warzone, behind zombies, then cool. But if it's in the game, I'll still play it. But which would you rather have? Somebody play multiplayer a ton? Probably. What about Warzone? Yeah, sure. Zombies? Okay. Good change of pace from, you know, the other two modes. Or campaign, which is just a story mode. So you can make your money with Warzone with your microtransactions, your skins, your battle pass, your all that stuff. But if I were the head of Call of Duty, I'd be like, hey, you're not even making these maps for the modes that are in this league that we pumped so much money into and demanded so much money from all these organizations, then what are we doing? Right? I would be like, that's a big, like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, this is just not okay. Like, someone there has to be like, guys, we're not doing this the right way. Because if they think this is the right way, then there needs to be some of your big gear fireds spread across a lot of those people's desks. Because I don't know what we're doing. Because, again, we want multiplayer, we want Warzone, we want zombies. I mean, zombies is kind of an afterthought. But even if you want to put multiplayer and Warzone at the same priority 1 level, then zombies in campaign or zombies in campaign. Even if you have a 3-tier priority system, as long as multiplayer is on top of that, I'll be happy. But it seems like multiplayer is close to last of a priority list, and it's very sad to me. But that's going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to support the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. But as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.